listened to what Theresa May was saying when she became Prime Minister, which is 5 years ago now almost. She said in her first speech in Downing Street, if you're black, you're treated more harshly by the criminal justice system than if you're white. And one of the criticisms I've heard today from several people about this report is it doesn't really deal with that.
It doesn't deal with that, but I'm not so concerned that it doesn't deal with that too heavily, simply because I think there's so much more progress we've made in so many different areas. There are things we can do there. There as well with a bit of tinkering. But even when you think about things like stop and search, we're actually focused on that and we debate it, and if it happens, we take it seriously. It's not something which we just, go and print a whole lot of black people across the land and nobody will say a word.
But do you think the criminal justice system in this country is colourblind?
I think that it's not as bad as the US. It's not as bad as it was before. We've made progress, and as I said, we do still have work to do. We have a tinkering to do here and there, but I think we should celebrate the progress and then work on where we are, not behave as if to put all our energy into thinking that we are far behind where we are right now, because then we're directing our energy in the wrong place. We have to put our focus where we can actually sort things out.
Richard, thank you. Here's Jessica now in Manchester. Welcome. What do you think?
Hello. So basically, I think that in the UK, I think that there is disparities across the board, and I think the main issue is perpetuated by the fact that although we're saying to a degree it exists, we're not exactly acknowledging wholeheartedly that there is a massive problem, deep-rooted problem, and that is gaslighting. And it's really painful to see. And I have to say, growing up in the UK, I have seen a massive change in just the culture, the attitude, and it's destructive, I have to say. I think young people nowadays, I think we have sort of recognised that we're not going to stand up, we're not going to accept this, and it's just unacceptable.
Do you want to tell me a little more about your own experience then?
Yeah, I actually have an example. I was working in the east of England. I'm not going to mention what particular trust, and I'm a nurse by background, and I was looking after one of my patients in ITU, and I was stopped by one of the senior colleagues who was a sister. She's white, and there were a whole load of other staff members gathered in the background, and she asked me, she turned around and said, Jessica, would you like to be a white woman? I turned around, my heart dropped, I was really shocked, really embarrassed, in terms of the question just perplexed me. I just froze and I thought, what? And I said, what? And her response was, would you like to be a white woman instead of a black woman? And I thought the fact that she was asking me boldly is just demonstrating the mentality that exists, unfortunately. And she is also young, was also young as well. And it just happened. It happened a couple of years ago, and it's just unacceptable. Unfortunately.
What do you think might happen as a result of this report? We've had all sorts of views. We had Richard a moment ago saying actually it speaks to his experience and he welcomes it, but most of the voices we've heard on air so far have been very critical.
So, to be honest, I think the course of the report has already been chosen, unfortunately, and I think you had mentioned earlier on that the fact that it's come out during the time of the George Floyd trial is telling in itself. The timing of it is very it's very interesting.
Jessica, thank you. It's good to hear from you too. This text says, I am a legal time ever after the death of George Floyd, I saw a change in the highly conservative area I work in. Stakeholders acknowledged that there was a problem with racism and inequality. Things that we've been trying for years to put into effect suddenly got done. Allied to this, COVID-19 has exposed huge fault lines in this country and other countries regarding sex, race, class, and so on. So what a time for the government to produce this whitewashed report with its predetermined conclusions. It's hard, but my conclusion is that they have an ugly agenda and are not acting in good faith. George Floyd, a theme running through some of the responses to this very interesting text. Let me know about you. You can text 84850 or call 0345 6060 973 as we continue to talk about this newsmaking report on race and racism. 6:45, here's Thomas Watts.
Ministers have announced an immediate review into sexual abuse